everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am working on a build in Strangerville, which is funny because I never build here anymore, but I do love Strangerville from time to time. It's just such a cool environment. The world is so different from any other world, and yeah, I don't know, whenever I build here, I just have a really good time. I just haven't done it in quite some time. But yeah, we're here today, and it's actually fun because I didn't actually plan on building here, but as you can maybe tell, I am working off of a floor plan that I found over on an Instagram account I have mentioned before. I will link them in the description of this video as well, so you can check them out. But their Instagram account is Rollo's Floor Plans, and they draw up floor plans specifically meant for The Sims 4. So they don't use the game to come up with the floor plans, but they actually draw them on paper and then post them to Instagram. It's really, really cool. They have lots of different floor plans. And then they're really fun to use because you can just put down the floor plan and then just take it from there. You can build whatever style house you want to turn it into. You just basically have this one floor plan to work off of, and then that is basically it. So I really like that little, Kickstarter, and then I don't know, I just turn it into whatever I feel like turning it into. And I did build this house partially over on stream. So the entire exterior we did over on stream, and so I basically just asked my chat, where should we build? Because it did state that this was built on a 30 by 20 on the floor plan, so I wanted to build it on a 30 by 20 ideally, but in my mind I was like, let's just go to Newcrest, let's just go to a 30 by 20 and build this house. And then I was like, you know what? No, let's go somewhere else. So I basically just asked my chat, where should we go to build this house today? And of course, they want to challenge me. So a lot of people said, you know what, let's head over to Strangerville and build it there. And I actually am really, really happy with that decision because I'm really, really happy with how this house turned out. It actually turned out to be a fixer-upper, which was also partially, or if not entirely, chat's idea. So yeah, we're turning it into a fixer-upper in Strangerville, which is so fun. So this did turn into a full-on family house. It has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, I believe. Yeah, the parents' bedroom has an ensuite, and then there is a hall bath downstairs as well as a hall bath upstairs. And yeah, it's just basically a fixer-upper with 3 bedrooms. You could potentially turn it into 4 bedrooms if you wanted to, because the living area, the living, kitchen, and dining, are all very, very spacious. This house is big. It's very, very big. It's very closed off because I really wanted to turn it into an older house. It's most definitely a fixer-upper. It really, really needs some love. It really could use some renovations, and that was such a fun storyline to play with for this build. So basically, as I was building it, we basically just came up with the storyline for this, for the family who moved into this house in Strangerville. So I furnished it for 2 parents, a married couple, or they don't need to be married, but I was most definitely thinking a couple. And then they have a teenager as well as a child. And I was thinking that maybe both the parents originally were from Strangerville. So they grew up here. It was very serene and cozy and wholesome, and just, just a little town, a lot of fun to grow up for kids. Just a wholesome, cute community. But then obviously this Strangerville mystery happened. So a lot of stuff went down in Strangerville. The reputation kind of got ruined. Everyone moved away. It basically almost turned into a ghost town. And also the parents and their families, they moved away as well. And I was thinking that maybe the parents used to be children, childhood friends already, and then both their families maybe moved to the same city or the same town or whatever, and then they just kind of stayed in touch, and then that's how they ended up getting married eventually, the parents. But yeah, so the whole Strangerville mystery kind of happened. The town's reputation kind of went downhill from there. Everyone left, kind of turned into a ghost town. We all know the story with Strangerville. It's weird and creepy. But then at some point, the mystery got solved. And the town started to clean up. It was still a little bit of a ghost town because obviously whatever happened was very scary and very strange, but it did all get resolved. The entire mystery, it doesn't exist anymore. All the dangers are gone, and it's basically safe to move back. But of course that doesn't happen right away. So there's a lot of just, abandoned houses, fixer-upper houses all around the place. So basically the town just needs a little bit of a facelift. And I feel like that has been going on for years now. So the parents kind of took that chance because they really wanted to move back to Strangerville because it's their home. It's where they grew up. It's where they want to live for the rest of their lives, essentially. And they just really love this town very much. So whenever they, got the I guess just okay to move back here, or whenever the mystery got resolved and it was kind of the people started to realize that it was safe to come back here, move here, and just start things up again for the town. That's when the parents are like, this is our chance, because maybe they were living in the city before. I was imagining them living in a little apartment with their 2 children. Not the most fun. They really just wanted to move back to their hometown. So what they did was they were able to afford this actually very spacious but very much abandoned house in Strangerville. So it was very cheap because, for one, location, and 2, it's just a very old house that needs a lot of renovations done. Because it's been basically empty for years, for decades even. So the parents are able to afford this house, move into this house, and slowly, very, very slowly over time, fix it and renovate it and flip it, but not because they want to sell it, because they want to just live here for the rest of their lives and potentially then give the house to the children, keep it in the family for generations, basically, is maybe what they wanted to do. So that's what I had in mind for this one. So you can really tell that it definitely needs some love. The exterior looks rough. The landscaping looks rough, and I feel like they have been here for maybe, I want to say a year, maybe 2 years, something like that. So they haven't been here for a very long time. You can also see that we have a trailer in the backyard, and I was most definitely thinking that when they first moved here, they took their stuff, they took their trailer, and they moved to Strangerville, but they weren't even able to stay inside of the house at first because maybe there was no electricity. Maybe they weren't even able to cook, yet use the kitchen. There was no gas, there was no electricity, there was no power, nothing. Maybe the roof was very leaky, stuff like that. Maybe it was even unsafe to stay in the house. So that's why they came here with their trailer first. And for the first few months, maybe they needed to camp out in the trailer because they couldn't stay inside the house for whatever reason, is what I was thinking. I just really thought that would be a fun idea. I just basically came across this trailer in the debug menu when I was landscaping the house, and the storyline kind of just evolved from there. It was so much fun to think about this as I was furnishing the house. It's been a while since I felt so inspired to build something. I don't know what it was with this one, but it was just a lot of fun because it was so unexpected, I think. I wasn't planning on building in Strangerville at all, and then I ended up doing it anyway, which just was a lot of fun. So yeah, you can see that the landscaping looks very, very rough. It definitely needs some love, but they have given it some love over time. So for example, you can tell that once we move on to the inside of the house, they have done some renovations, and at the very least, they have really, really tried to make this house feel like a home. Also for the sake of their children, because like I said, they have a teenager and a kid, and I was thinking that the teenager is a girl. She is about, I want to say 14, 15 years old. 15 at the most, so maybe 14, maybe even 13 years old. And she was not excited to move here. She did not want to move to a weird town that she knows her parents came from here, but it was creepy, and there's obviously creepy stories going around, even though whatever happened here happened decades ago. But still, Strangerville kind of has this reputation, and she did not want to move to this weird town. So I feel like that's a little bit of a struggle within the family as well. And then she also has a little brother, so the kid of the household, I was thinking they were maybe 7, 8 at the most. and he's a little boy, and I feel like he's okay with it. Like, he doesn't really matter. Maybe he thinks it's adventurous. Maybe he just kind of like pretends that he's going to fix like Strangerville, or maybe he made some friends and maybe they like will ride their bikes over to the secret laboratory, even though their parents kind of tell them not to go down there because it's probably kind of dangerous and also just creepy. But they secretly go down to the lab anyway and like kind of like try and discover whatever happened down there. So maybe he's a little bit like rambunctious in that sense. I could totally see the sister and the brother basically being polar opposites, is what I was thinking, and I thought that would be really cute. So the little brother is a kid and he's fine with this town. He thinks it's exciting. I can't speak. Oh my God. And then the teenager, the girl, she is not okay with it. And she, personality-wise, I thought she wanted to become famous. I thought that would be cool, like in whatever way, shape, or form. I gave her a guitar, so maybe she's teaching herself to play the guitar. And I also gave her a microphone to kind of represent that she likes to sing. So maybe she wants to become a famous artist, like a famous singer, songwriter. But if anything, she just wants to become famous. But maybe she actually turns out to be very talented and maybe she will become like a successful singer. But if not, then that's also fine. I was more so thinking that it'd be a phase for now, but she really likes pink, girly colors, and she just wants to become famous and move back to the city and, make her dreams come true. But obviously she is stuck here. So for a teenage girl, 14 years old, like that is not the most ideal situation. Also not for the parents, but I thought that would be like a fun storyline idea. But here you can see we're getting started on the living room, and you can see that they have this weird old fireplace in the house that was originally here and they decided to keep. And then they have this very old couch that maybe was already here, or if not, they just purchased a cheap couch somewhere, wherever they could find it, like a secondhand hand-me-down sort of like thrifted couch, just so that they basically just needed to hoard a bunch of furniture to fill up the place. And then they will slowly start to renovate things and make things look prettier over time. So that is why we have this extremely weird mismatched mix of furniture going on throughout the entire house. But I really, really enjoy that idea. It's mostly visible here in the living room, like the couch situation, and then they have this love seat that all of a sudden looks very nice. So maybe they were able to purchase that on a discount and they were like, let's go, this is pretty, we're just gonna buy it and put it in the house, and then later on it will all start to make sense and come together, maybe, or not. I don't think these parents have a very specific plan for like style-wise what they want to do with the house. They just want to fix it over time. That's their biggest priority. So that's why we have a very mismatched mix of furniture going on. I hope I'm explaining this well, because I really had like a vision in my mind of this family trying to renovate the house, but also trying to make it look homey for now, for the time being. And it's all very messy because they're in the process of fixing the house and moving. So there's lots of boxes scattered around the place. What they did upgrade, for example, is the curtains. You can see that they have really, really pretty blinds or like curtains going on in the house. So that is something they actually did already put money towards to kind of give the house a facelift. But then for the rest, it's just a little bit all over the place. And that's definitely exactly what I wanted for this house, basically. But then also you can kind of tell that, for example, for the boy's bedroom, his bedroom is kind of matchy-matchy, but maybe they were able to purchase this entire kids' room furniture set off of like some kind of marketplace where they could buy the bed, but also the nightstand and the desk, for example, that kind of all go together. They could purchase that as one set, but like secondhand or hand-me-down for a cheaper price. So I was kind of envisioning those things as well. I was really trying to go very realistic with this house, and I think I kind of succeeded. Here you can see we're getting started on the living room, for example, or no, the dining room. The dining room is very spacious, so if you want to make some like changes to the floor plan, I feel like that's very much possible as well. You can like knock down walls and make it all way more like open and like have it flow together a little bit more nicely. Even though I do feel like the floor plan really does make sense, like routing wise and stuff, it really does make sense. It's just very closed off, which you can get away with in this house because it's so big, like so spacious. So it kind of makes sense. But here in the dining room, for example, you can see that we have like an older, well, the table is kind of nice, but like the chairs are like old. I mean, I really like them in The Sims, but you can tell that they're like old and thrifted. Probably also hand-me-downs or like from some sort of a marketplace, but then they have this china cabinet that's actually really nice. So they already purchased that and put it in the dining room because they had some money for it and they really liked it, so they purchased it. And it doesn't really go with anything, but they have it, if that makes sense. And then they have a bunch of boxes and a weird lamp in the corner, a weird chair in the corner. So yeah, that's kind of basically what I was going for. I'm really hoping that I'm explaining this correctly, like I said, because I had just such a vision in my mind of this family and what their house would look like, and it's just all very chaotic. And then here in the kitchen, you can see that the kitchen is most definitely left untouched. They have not renovated anything in this kitchen so far. They did put in their own washer and dryer because we don't really have an older rundown looking washer and dryer set in The Sims. These are the only machines that we have, and they actually look kind of nice. So yeah, I decided to go with these because these are the only ones we have if you want laundry in your house at all. So I was thinking they just got their own washer and dryer, maybe secondhand, but they're good machines. Like they're good laundry machines, if that makes sense. And then they just put that in the kitchen. And for the rest, you can see that the kitchen counters are very, very old and just kind of nasty looking as well. And so is the fridge, and then the stove. I didn't go for like the very grungy looking stove, but it's also still just not a really great stove. So the kitchen most definitely needs some love. They need to renovate this, but yeah, obviously putting in a brand new kitchen is very expensive. And with that, they probably also want to renovate the floors and like the tile on the wall as well. So this kitchen is going to be like a very big process, and they like need to save up more money for it as well. I also was able to like place a little breakfast area in the kitchen because it's like quite spacious, and I went for a galleyway kitchen style. I tried to do something a little bit different with this one also because I didn't like the way the kitchen counters looked when I put them alongside those like taller windows where I placed the breakfast table, if that makes sense. So I decided to go for like a more galleyway shape of a kitchen, but I can imagine that maybe you want to go for like an island. Maybe you want to knock down the wall between the the dining and the kitchen and like open the space up and maybe move the kitchen to the other side so that you have more space for like countertops, but also an island. Like I just had all these ideas in my mind, and I was definitely thinking that the parents, they don't know exactly what they want to do with the kitchen yet, so it just looks a little rough still. This place needs some love. Like I said, like it could definitely use some renovations. And then for the bathrooms as well, like they didn't renovate the bathrooms at all either. They're pretty old looking. I think I only recorded one bathroom, which is going to be the hall bathroom downstairs, but you will see that the bathroom downstairs, yeah, it's not great. It is not great. And that's exactly what I was going for. So this kitchen is very cluttered as well. I just overall really like the style of this house. Usually when I build in Strangerville, I like to go for Victorian style houses, but this one is more, it kind of holds the middle between almost Victorian, but also farmhousey look and feel. And then, oh, something I remembered for this house was the light switches. There are light switches everywhere. I really misused them in this house. Like I really took advantage of the light switches. They just look so good. And since this, I wasn't imagining this family to have like tons of artwork everywhere on the wall, because obviously that is something that needs to build over time. And they're not putting all their money towards purchasing artwork right now, because that's just not a priority. So we have a lot of blank walls. But when you place a little light switch on a blank wall, it just elevates the entire space. I don't know, maybe I'm very dramatic about this, but that's just how I feel. Like the light switches make the room look so realistic. They enhance the entire space, even though they're so small, you can barely see them, but they just add that little bit of detail that I love. So yeah, I most definitely remembered to put down light switches everywhere in this house, and I love it. And then here we have the parents' bedroom. The parents' bedroom is downstairs, and they also have an ensuite. In the original floor plan that I got off of Rollo's Floor Plans, this was, I think, an office space, and there also was no ensuite. Like, there was no bathroom. I think the only bathroom that this floor plan originally had was the one upstairs, but I added 2 more. So here, one for the parents, like an ensuite, and then a hall bathroom as well for downstairs. And then this is the parents' bedroom, as you can see. So they probably got their furniture set somewhere for cheap as well. So they have matching nightstands and like a matching nightstands and bed set, basically. So they probably were able to purchase that somewhere for not too expensive. What I really liked was this little detail. I decided to hide some boxes behind the mirror. I know it makes no sense because you can't really see them there, like when you're playing in the house or whatever, but I just like the idea of there being boxes behind the mirror because they had no place to put them and they wanted them out of sight, basically. I really like that idea. And then they also have this additional dresser. I was planning on giving them a walk-in wardrobe unit, but I felt like that was a little bit too luxurious. So maybe that is something that they still really want to work towards and like build that into the room, because there's definitely some space for a walk-in or built-in wardrobe where I placed those 2 wardrobes together, basically. There is more than enough space for that, but maybe that's something for later. What I did do was section off a tiny little area upstairs for like a built-in closet, because I thought that would make a lot of sense to have some storage space up like on the landing, some built-in storage space for like sheets and boxes and whatever you want to hide in there. You can hide it in there, like towels and stuff. I thought that was realistic. And then upstairs we have 2 more bedrooms, which are going to be for the teenager as well as the kid. And then they have a shared whole bathroom upstairs as well that I did not record. So I'll show you that obviously in the tour portion of this video. But yeah, upstairs you can see that we have gross carpet. It's disgusting. And I really was like deciding whether or not I should use this. Like I was debating, should I put in renovated wood floors or should I just go with the gross carpet? Because if anything, it was going to be gross carpet or nice wood. So I decided to go for the gross carpet instead because I thought that was fun, especially for the sake of this house and the story that I'm trying to tell with it. I feel like this carpet makes a lot of sense. So the kids get gross carpet. I'm so sorry, it's disgusting. Here we have the teenager's bedroom. I was really mixing and matching different wood swatches. I did decide to bring it all together. So I decided to go for that more like lighter orangey wood swatch that I'm already using for the desk as well as the wardrobes. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. It just like lightens up the room a little bit more. What I did like initially was the purple duvet covers on the bed that I was initially using, but I decided to swap it out for an entirely different bed. This one is from Dream Home Decorator, and I like the bedding on this one as well. It's spurred on a little bit of a different color scheme. I went for some more pinky tones because of the bedding on this specific bed, but I really like it. So we have lots of pink in here. I decided to just go full on stereotype for this one. So 14-year-old girl who loves music and wants to become famous and likes the colors pink and purple. That is just something that I really felt like doing for this bedroom. I always try to avoid stereotypes for my houses usually, but every now and then it's just a lot of fun to go for it anyway. So that's what I did for this one. I actually placed 2 of those wardrobes together. I kind of merged them together to kind of make it look like one slightly larger wardrobe, and I really like it. It actually works really well with that one. It's just a base game wardrobe with like a sliding door type situation, and I think it really works for that one. So I think I'm going to use that more often, that little trick. But you can see that this person or this teenager, they have a desk in their bedroom, also this weird lamp with a strange pattern. I think that's a lamp from City Living from the flea market, actually. I don't think I've ever used it before, but I really liked it in this house because it just totally makes sense for the entire storyline that we're trying to go for. And then, so there's a lot of thrifted furniture in this room, as you can maybe tell, maybe not. I was thinking maybe got like a brand new bed frame from IKEA, like a new bed frame and a new mattress, because that is something important that I feel like need to invest in So the parents would definitely go ahead and do that, like invest in good beds and mattresses for themselves, but also for their kids, obviously. So not necessarily very expensive, but just nice new ones from IKEA. But then the nightstand and the desk chair and maybe also like the wardrobes were definitely thrifted. You can kind of tell by the mixed styles of furniture that are going on in here without it being too overwhelmingly mismatched. I feel like it still kind of makes sense because I went for similar wood swatches, if that makes sense, to kind of just tie it all together anyway. And then for this room, I went for a bunch of clutter, which I kind of like, well, I don't want to say steered away from for the rest of the house because I was definitely going for like a messy vibe in the house. So I wanted there to be clutter, but I didn't want it to be overly decorated in the sense that like it's too put together, because they haven't really been putting a lot of thought into decorations for this house because that's not where they're at renovation wise right now, or priority money wise right now. So not a lot of decorations in that sense, but definitely a lot of like messier clutter is what I was going for. But here you can see we have the little brother's room, and this one is very green and blue, and I used more darker wood swatches in here. So you can see that the brother has a completely matching bed, nightstand, desk chair set, basically, because I went for the entire set from the kids room stuff pack. And I did that on purpose because yes, it's a little bit matchy, but like I explained, maybe they were able to purchase this entire set like secondhand from a marketplace or a thrift store that happened to have this entire set on hand for whatever reason. So that's kind of what I was going for with this room. And then the little brother, what I really like is he has his wardrobe in that little corner section of the room, and then I was able to place a couple of like shelves next to it, so it kind of looks like a built-in unit, and I really like that. So I was able to clutter that up as well. And then I was thinking that the brother just is into dinosaurs and cars and planes and robots and void critters, just a whole bunch of different things. I was just kind of trying to reflect that he is a little boy who likes to play. His interests are all over the place. He's probably into sports as well. He has lots of car toys as well. So he is into that. And yeah, the color scheme for his bedroom kind of speaks for itself. It's very blue and green, and he has lots of posters, void critter posters as well. I was trying to fit in that void critter game that came with the kids room stuff pack, but that was just a little bit too spacious, so that wasn't gonna fit. And then they have a shared bathroom upstairs, but I did not record that one, so I'll show you in the tour portion of this video, of course. And then now we're moving on to the backyard. So the backyard turned out so nice. I really like how this one came out. It's not nice in the sense that it looks good. It's nice in the sense that it looks messy and realistic, in my opinion. So we have this dining table on the back porch, and then we have a picnic table in here. It's just very messy. We have lots of landscaping that needs to be taken care of. We do have a woodworking bench because I felt like that made sense. And then I also ended up putting in a basketball hoop thingy because I thought that was really cute. And this one comes with a swatch that looks very much like broken down and like used. So I thought that was perfect for this house. So that's why I placed the basketball hoop with some balls, like a soccer ball and a football. So they're not actual basketballs, which I felt like was a cute detail. But that's it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. In this version of Strangerville, the mystery isn't solved. So we have these weirdos coming by the house, which is very interesting, but that's okay. So this is the facade of the house. Oh, there's another one walking down the street, as you can see. Hello, sir. I hope everything's okay. So as you can see, the landscaping is very messy. I was having a rough time with the landscaping, honestly, because I was trying to blend it in and I'm just not really used to this area, but I feel like I did a great job. I used a lot of these purple flowers, which are all around the place, and I used some rocks as well to kind of tie it together. But here around the back, we have the trailer and the car parked, which I thought was cool. They also have a dumpster. I was thinking that maybe this is only here for the time being because because they're doing all these renovations, they like have a dumpster or whatever. I don't really know. You can just leave it there. I thought it looked nice. And then around the back here, we have the backyard, obviously. So we have some random boxes, a grill, a nice picnic table. The fence is kind of like broken up and fixed with a different fence in between. We have that happening on this side as well. We have a basketball hoop situation, some balls and some random planters scattered around. And yeah, just the back porch with a dining table and stuff. And I think it just turned out really cozy. But then when we go inside, this is the floor plan. So we have a nice entryway, hallway situation that kind of just leads you everywhere. So immediately off to the right, we have the kitchen that's also opened up to the dining room over here. So we have this big gallery kitchen. I didn't have a lot of space to clutter this up because I only have one countertop over here that your Sims can use because this one is taken up by a microwave. But I tried to add some clutter on this little breakfast table over here and here in the corner as well. So this is the kitchen, and then you can just kind of walk through this archway into the very spacious but still a little bit empty feeling dining room, which is what I was going for. So they have a nice round dining table and a china cabinet, and again, some like random boxes. They have this mirror randomly in here because they probably found this somewhere on a flea market and still have to find like a proper place to put it. So they just put it here for now. And they have another little cabinet or shelf here with some random stuff on it. And off of the dining room, we have this hall bathroom. So this is a bathroom with a walk-in shower that looks very outdated and old. They have this pretty old looking sink and toilet situation as well. So yeah, this bathroom is could definitely use some renovations, just like the rest of this house. Then when we just follow the floor plan here, we have a little mudroom situation that leads you to the back porch. So we just have a coat rack and some shoes and stuff in here. And then this leads you into the main area, the living room of the house, which again is very mismatched and old and could use some love. So they have this couch from Werewolves and then this very nice love seat to go with it. They have this fireplace situation, some more boxes over here, and a pretty old TV because they're not putting their money towards a brand new TV right now. There is a play corner for the kid in here as well because they have the space for it. And then here they have a little desk setup situation. I don't normally like to place bigger furniture pieces against windows, but for this desk, I thought it looked nice here. So I decided to go with it anyway. And this window is covered up by vines anyway, as you can see. So it didn't really bother me all that much. It wasn't blocking too much light. And then for the rest, we just have this old bookcase and some other knickknacks scattered around. And then over here, we have the parents' bedroom. So this is very blue. I loved using this rug in here. It doesn't necessarily look good together, but I still kind of like it, maybe for that reason. So they have their bed over here and some wardrobes over here, and then a dresser here when you first walk into the room with some small decorations on it. And then the parents have this ensuite. I did not record this one, but it's very simple, just a shower tub combo, a sink, and a toilet. And then when we go up, we have this landing. I loved placing this built-in wardrobe in here for some reason because it just made so much sense to me to have some storage up here. So this is the landing. It has some decorations. And then here we have the teens room, my favorite room. Well, no, my favorite bedroom of the house. Very cluttered, very pink. It doesn't necessarily look good, but it looks realistic. She has her desk set up with lots of knickknacks, a guitar, a microphone for some skill building, wardrobes over here, a nice mirror that looks very thrifted to me as well, and just some clothes and stuff scattered around the place. So pretty spacious bedroom. And then here we have the little boy's room. This one is very green and blue. He has lots of toys and also decorations, obviously. And then I really like this little detail with the wardrobe and the shelves on the side. It looks very built in, and I don't know why, but I just like that little detail. And then the kids have this shared bathroom upstairs. I really tried to make this into the kids' room with lots of colorful little decorations, a little bit more messy. And yeah, I think it turned out nice. But that is basically it for this house. So this fixer-upper family home is up on the gallery. It's not cheap though for it being a fixer-upper. It comes in at just under 95,000 simoleons, so yikes. But for storyline purposes, I feel like it makes sense. And then it's built on a 30 by 20 in Strangerville, and it has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms total. But that is gonna do it for this video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmarySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.